Welcome to Motivation Fridays. Today, I want to talk about the power of consistency and how your subconscious and conscious mind plays a very big role in that. So stay tuned. My name is Jay, and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector. Now, I've been in the debt collection industry for over 15 years. I've done it all, from skip tracing to collecting to management, and I've owned 2 debt collection agencies. For the past 8 years, I've been the go-to guy for friends and family for questions regarding debt and credit, and now I want to be that person for you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. Let's go. So, I do Motivation Fridays. This is called Ask a Debt Collector, where you can come and get questions that you want to know about credit or debt in the perspective of a debt collector. I've been a debt collector, obviously, for 15 years. All aspects of it, and they explain that. Now, I decided to do Motivation Fridays, obviously because it's a twist instead of Motivation Mondays. And it's something I'm gonna do every single Friday where I'm talking about something that either inspired me, a story or something with regards to my life, and situations that may go on, right? And what this does, what my hope is this gives you a little bit more about just me. I mean, we all look on social media, we all look on YouTube and so forth. And, you decide to follow people because they give you value. And sometimes within following people, the value that they give you is great, but then sometimes you want to know a little bit about them, their personality, who they are. And that was something that I always wanted to know. And so I figured this is a way that I can give that to you guys so you can understand me a little bit more, where I come from and why I do what I do. But very important, if you have not already, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your bell notification so you can get a notification every time I put up a new video. And for those of you who have been doing it, thanks for the support. Now, let's get into the power of consistency. I'm going to give you a small definition. Obviously, I'm going to read that. Consistency is referred to as the adherence to the same principles in a steadfast way. If you want to achieve anything of value or meaning in your life, then you need to be consistent. This holds true to business and relationships, right? So, a lot of times when we think about consistency, we think about the good part. Even that definition, I talked about some of the good stuff, being consistent. But there are bad parts of being consistent, and whether you know it or not, that lies into you. Let me give you a small example of a bad situation where you can be consistent. Let me tie in the conscious and the subconscious mind. I remember there was a time with social media, Facebook. Let's talk about Facebook in particular. It's one of the biggest social media platforms that is out there. But I remember there was a time, you download the app, or you go into your laptop or computer and you put in facebook.com and you look on Facebook. In the beginning, it's a little tough. You're adding friends, you're adding people or whatever the circumstance is, you're putting statuses up, and consciously you're thinking of what to do with regards to Facebook, how to make it better, how to put up more pictures, whatever the circumstance is. Then as time progresses, it becomes a habit, right? And then subconsciously, we all grab our phones, or whether you're going on the internet, you hit Facebook and you just go browsing through. And you don't even think about it, right? So consciously, in the beginning, you're thinking about it. Then subconsciously, you're not even thinking about it. It just becomes a habit, and you're doing that. And it can become a problem if, as we all know, you can be thinking, oh, I'm going to go on Facebook. It's just going to be a little bit of time. You may have some free time. Next thing you know, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours pass. You're watching videos. You're looking at stuff. You're liking stuff. And that can become a bad habit, right? Same thing with like eating or anything along those lines, right? If you want to eat healthy, but then you're constantly eating a cake, in the beginning you may think, oh man, this cake is fattening, it's no good for me. But once you taste it, it tastes good. And then as time progresses, you may continue to eat it, and subconsciously, it makes it a bad situation for you. So consistency can be good or bad. You have to look and evaluate what it is that you're doing to figure that out, right? Another thing could be the TV, playing video games. One of the things with me personally, I was a big time gamer. I had PlayStation. I would play games all night. And what I found is I would always say, okay, I'm only going to pay for an hour. Next thing I look up and it's been 3 hours. And I was consistent with that. And so what I had to do was get rid of the video games totally. Same situation with my boys. They're big time gamers. And we have to set limits on whether they're playing or not. But that can become an issue with regards to that, right? Now let's talk about some of the good things that being consistent can help you in, right? Eating healthy. Now, let me tell you a story about my wife. One of the things between the both of us is, when we met each other and how we were going, we would go out to eat. And one of the things we would do is we would order 2 separate meals. And we, because when you look at the menu, a lot of times when you go to restaurants, you may want this and that. So we would come together and look at something and say, hey, I like this and I like that. We would order all together and just pig out. We would always eat, sweets and all types of stuff, right? And what ended up happening, and this was during obviously her pregnancy. So for her, it was an excuse to eat how she wanted to eat. For myself, I'm just following along and I wanted to do it as well. So I would eat up everything, right? And what ended up happening is, after she had the babies and figuring out how she can lose weight with regards to everything, and I'll put a plug down, Frugally Keto, if you want to lose weight and you don't have time going to the gym and so forth, check out our website. I'll put it down in the description. I lost like 20 pounds in less than a month, not even working out, through the Keto Diet. But nevertheless, with eating healthy, I remember, all of a sudden she started eating healthy. She started doing this keto diet. It was a big old fad thing. She learned all about it, and basically she started following it. And I started seeing the pounds drop off. Now, in this keto diet, the main 2 things is you cut out carbs and you cut out sugar, right? And she did those things. And so I remember, obviously consciously, she was always thinking about what she had to do. And as time progressed, within the both of us and doing the diet and doing all the stuff, it was a lot harder for me. She was a lot more disciplined in what she was doing. I remember after about 3 months of her doing this keto diet and losing all this weight and having an epiphany and the light turning on and saying how much more energy she had, how much greater she felt. She wanted to try like a piece of cake or something. She ain't had it in a while. She was like, hey, I'll take it as a cheat meal. She ate the cake and it tastes gross. She didn't like it at all. And she was just like, the sugar, it's too sweet. And that's how she is till this day. But eating healthy can help you out to where consciously you have to think about it, right? And the consistency, you have to think about eating healthy. And then eventually, subconsciously, it just becomes a habit. When you go to a store, you go to a certain thing, you just automatically are looking at the healthy foods and you're eating that, you're feeling better, and it just becomes a habit. And being consistent in that, you get to see the benefits of your body and how much healthier you feel, how much better you look, and all of those types of things, right? Exercising is another thing. Another thing for me, where I had to be consistent, was the miracle morning. Now, for those of you who have been following me some time, great. You know that I do a thing called the miracle morning, Hell Elrod. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I meditate, I stretch, I exercise, and then I get started on my day. And in the beginning, subconsciously, I had to think of to do that, right? And then as time progressed, subconsciously, I don't even think about it. I just roll out of bed with 4 o'clock and I just get to going. And I don't even think about it, and it starts happening, and those habits become everything. But with the consistency of that, I've seen the benefits of constantly doing those types of things, which only help my life and make things a lot better with regards to it, right? So I want you guys to think about this. Whether you know it or not, you are being consistent at something, good or bad. Now, I can't sit here and judge you and tell you whether what your consistency on a daily basis is good or bad, but you know whether it is and what it is that you're doing, whether it's you're being consistent in a good or bad way. My hope is that you evaluate your life and you look at the things that you do in a consistent situation, right? And that you get rid of anything that's not helping elevate you or push you or get you to where you want to be. And then you hold on to the stuff that's gonna help you do that. And understand, consciously, you're gonna have to think about it at one point. But then eventually, as you continue to do it, subconsciously, those things will start happening. They'll become habit, and it becomes a lifestyle, right? Now, if you have any questions about credit or debt, put them down in the comments section. If you have any questions about consistency, put them down in the comments section. Or tell me, what are you consistent with that is bad? Put that down in the comments section. And, I just want to hear some of those things. And you'll be surprised as you guys start putting those things down, you see a lot more people who actually are bad with their consistency with some stuff, and then put some of the good stuff down there. And hopefully this has brought some light to what it is that you do consciously and subconsciously, as well as your consistent habits, okay? As I always say, you be great.